Alright, hi everybody, this is Trevor with MarketDelta, and it is Friday, July 24th. Last Friday, we did a special live event, live seminar with Dr. Brett Steenbarger. In case you're not aware, Dr. Brett writes the blog TraderFeed. It's traderfeed.blogspot.com. It's one of the top 20 financial blogs in the world, and him and I did a live seminar. It was primarily geared towards trading psychology, but MarketDelta, I spent the first half of the seminar covering MarketDelta and some of the unique things it can provide. I know many people weren't able to make the event, and so I wanted to record a video to show at least the screens that I used when I spoke, describe how they were set up, and provide some links to the slides that both Brett and I used during the formal presentation piece that we each did. Now, the other thing is there's been a lot of interest in attending these events that maybe aren't live but more webinar based. So Dr. Brett and I are planning to do something more of a webinar with similar content, probably sometimes later this year, October, probably October, maybe November, somewhere around there. So stay tuned to our blog. We'll certainly let you know when that happens, or if you're on our emailing list, you'll know. You'll be notified that way as well. So let me jump right into this chart. This is the chart that I was showing for most of the time that we had. This is a bid-ask footprint chart, and I have a couple things on this chart that were unique. The one was a volume profile of the previous day or yesterday. And I'm just going to show what I've done to add this, so in case you wanted to add it, I'll open it up and show you. This is the footprint price statistic indicator, and it's set for volume profile of the previous day, and then I have it set on the right hand side. That's all I've done here. And then I've added a second one of these, and notice it's the same except for the period is the current day, not the previous day. So that's how those were added, or at least that's what those are. If you want to add them, just right click the chart and add technical indicator. That's all you need to do. The other thing that's been added to this chart is a volume breakdown indicator, VB. It's a volume breakdown. And so you'd right click, add technical indicator, and scroll down to V, and it is volume breakdown. Now there's lots of settings in here. You don't need to really adjust any of this. You can just click add and close, and by default it should add just like what I have. Now what it is, and I'll take a few minutes to describe what the volume breakdown indicator is. The volume breakdown indicator is a sum or total of all the aggressive, think of it as the aggressive order flow, whether there was more trading at the ask or more trading at the bid. So this is giving us a visual of whether there was more aggressive buying, as we saw in this bar, which is kind of one of those standout bars here, or more aggressive selling, which we saw in this bar. So it's giving us an idea of what type of activity is present within each bar. Are we seeing the buyers being more aggressive and trading at the ask, or are we seeing the sellers more aggressive and trading at the bid, hitting the bid, trying to either get out of a position or get short? And so part of what I talked about last week was using the footprint to help keep context. What is the market psychology? We're not talking trader psychology. Dr. Brett talked about that. I was talking more about the market psychology. And the footprint does an excellent job of showing you that market psychology piece that you really can't get looking at anything else. And you may ask, well, how's this possible? The way this is achieved is just through the sheer anatomy of what a footprint chart is. A footprint is an actual price, and within that price is contained specific information or unique information, just like you may think of an actual footprint. There's unique information contained within each of these prices or footprints. Now let's just take this bar here, since it's the kind of the dominant bar in this chart. This is each of these bars represents 5 minutes. And so as we look, let me zoom in a little bit here. As we look, this is the low and this is the high, and this is so the range in that 5 minutes. And what we see here is the volume. It's broken down. How much traded when this price was the bid price and how much traded when this was the ask price. Now that may be too much information for some, but the idea is, and again going back to the context piece that I just mentioned, is keeping in the forefront of your mind as you're trying to trade and react to price activity, who's being more influential in the marketplace, the aggressive buyer or the aggressive seller. And when you're trying to understand whether you should step in and sell this or whether you should wait, that's the type of context it's trying to provide. When do you actually take the trade? And in fact, considering the aggressive nature of the buyers in this bar, you may want to wait, just in terms of execution strategy, you may wait for the sellers to actually step in and show that they're contesting high prices, or you just may wait to see some exhaustion. But in the meantime, don't step in front of the freight train, so to speak. Now, another way to look at this would be on the footprint profile. This is more of a graphical representation of what we just looked at. We're looking at the bid-ask footprint. This is called the footprint profile, and it's more of a graph of the volume. So you can see this move was fairly quick up in terms of volume. There was light volume as it started to trade higher, and it wasn't until right in this level, and it's interesting to note how that really was kind of a dominant area coincidentally over the next half hour, but how this is the area where we finally saw some real volume step into the market. Okay, going back to just kind of describing what a footprint is, the color represents whether there was more aggressive selling or more aggressive buying. So on this chart, any shade of blue within these bars represents more trading at the ask or more aggressive buying, and any shade of red would represent more aggressive selling. The sellers hitting the bids. That's how you'd think of it. Now I know I went kind of quick over this. This is just a volume distribution of, again, this is today and this is the previous day. And if I scroll up, the other black line, you didn't see it because we're trading well above it here, but this black line is the VWAP, or the volume weighted average price. So this is something Dr. Brett uses on many of his charts, and we just wanted to be able to show that here. Okay, so other than that, this is a chart that we used last week, and that was the basis of what I talked about, using the footprint to help keep the market psychology, help you understand the market psychology and the context of what is taking place at any given time in any time frame. So for instance, I'm looking at a 5-minute, I could easily jump out to a 15-minute chart and look at similar information just on a little bit bigger time frame. So you can see what's going on here. For more information on the footprint chart or Market Delta, visit MarketDelta.com. You can click support and go down to the video library. You'll find all sorts of educational and training videos under there, some specifically dealing with the footprint, others dealing with some strategy-based concepts. Or you can also search our knowledge base or blog for various related content. And stay tuned. We should have some announcements regarding an upcoming webinar with Dr. Brett that you'll be able to participate in free of charge, just like the other one was. So thanks, everybody. Make a great day.